जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Vinoda Radha Vinoda Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva, Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Gaura Nita Jaya Gaura Nita Gaura Nita Jaya Gaura Nita. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. जय ओम परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, चैतन्य चरितामृत की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. Looks like Mahaprabhu. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅವರು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಹಾಲ್ಗೆ ಇಳಿತಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳೋರು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So welcome to Sunday's program today. So up to Gaur Purnima. So we're going to talk about Mahaprabhu ki jai. So Lord of Gaurakatha. So today we are starting the series, and I have been given the very difficult topics. It's all credit goes to Swam Prakash Prabhu. If I'm not able to do justice, Swam Prakash Prabhu again. So Vaishnava Siddhanta, he wants to talk about sensitivity in dealings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So we want to see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did Sadachar with his associates. So that's the topic today. So the theme is that how Mahaprabhu has exhibited Vaishnava Siddhanta through Vaishnava Sadachar. So before we start, I chose this shloka, which is in the Antya Lila, fourth chapter, text number 129 and 120. Can recite this, then after that we can continue the topic. यद्यापि यो तुमी हो जगत पावना यद्यापि यो तुमी हो जगत पावना तो मा स्पर्शे पवित्रः या देवमुनिगणा तो मा स्पर्शे पवित्रः या देवमुनिगणा तथापि भक्त स्वभावा मर्याद रक्षणा तथापि भक्त स्वभावा मर्याद रक्षणा मर्याद पालनाया साधुरभूषणा मर्याद पालनाया साधुरभूषणा यद्यापि तुमी हो जगत पावना त्वमस्पर्शे पवित्रः या देवमुनिगणा तथापि भक्त स्वभावा मर्याद रक्षणा मर्याद पालनाय साधुरभूषणा devotees want to repeat.
यद्यपि तुमिह जगत पावना
यद्यपि यो तुमी हो जगत पावना
त्वमस्पर्श पवित्रः ये देवमुनिगणा तथापि भक्त स्वभाव मर्याद रक्षण मर्यादा पालन ये साधुरभूषण
Vaishnavis. यद्यपि यो तुमी हो जगत पावना Please repeat after me. My dear Sanatana, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is the characteristics of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशद आराध्य भगवान ब्रजेशस्तनयस्तद्धाम वृंदावनम Ramya Kachadupasano Vrichavadu Vargena Va Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Premapamatva Maha Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Madhimidam Tatradana Para Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vaishya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनदारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् नमो विष्णुपादाय Hare Krishna. It's a wonderful topic. It's a wonderful initiative by Swam Prakash Prabhu because once the new temple comes in, there are a lot of services and this sadachar is very, very important. One time Srila Prabhupada was asked, can you tell me about your disciples? And Prabhupada did not say, oh, my disciples are, they chant 16 rounds, the identification of ISKCON devotees. Prabhupada did not give that. Oh, my disciples follow four relative principle. Or he say, no, no, we are based on Bhagavatam. Prabhupada did not give that answer. He gave, if you want to know my disciple, they will be the perfect gentlemen and ladies. What does that mean? ISKCON devotees means they are perfect gentlemen. So this Sadachar stands out. So Prabhupada's definition, Vaishnava means, yes, you might chant 16 rounds or not, that's different, but devotee must have this ornament of Vaishnava etiquette. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see from the pastimes of Antilila, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he chose Antilila, it's very important. Like, let's say somebody who is very famous in preaching, is very successful. What do you think he will do at the end of his life? He'll obviously preach, right? Somebody is very good at deity worship, or somebody is good at book distribution. Sama Prabhu is here. So what they would like to do, they want to do more book distribution. Mahaprabhu, after sannyas, he came to Puri. He traveled to South India, and you see the success. It was humongous success. Everywhere he went, everybody become devotee. But you see, 10, 14 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spends after coming back from South India Yatra, Mahaprabhu did not travel because he had a huge success. He would have gone to another round of Yatra. But Mahaprabhu did not go. Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri and he also preached Krishna conscious, but through Sadachar, through the dealings of various Vaishnavas. If you see Antilila, no, it's okay, it's not visible. So if you see that, there are a lot of conversations. Rupa Goswami is meeting Justice and Haridasa, Junior Haridas. Then you see today's topic, we're going to see the meeting the Vallabha Bhatta. So like that, there are many Vaishnavas who come. So Mahaprabhu teaches this Krishna consciousness more through Vaishnava Sadachar, and he was internally focusing on this Krishna, the greatness of Krishna's love. So that way it is very important. You can see Mahaprabhu up to 30-year age he traveled, but after that, he's very young. He would have traveled. But Mahaprabhu, 18 years is spent in Jagannath Puri, only focusing on this, the Antilila part. If you can see the association dealing with Vaishnavas. This shows boiling the milk also important. We also did outreach, but also boiling the milk, the Vaishnava, Sadachar, and devotee care. That's also important. That's what Mahaprabhu is uh, teaching us. Um, so what is this Sadachar? Today we'll give us some introduction. What is about the Sadachar? Then we will see how Mahaprabhu dealt with various associates. So this Siddhanta, Sadhana, Sadachar, the triple S, is the essence of the spiritual life. If there is a spiritual life, Krishna conscious means share it in the Zoom. One second, sorry, wrong Zoom ID. Uh, Thank you. So I was talking about okay. So I was talking about Siddhanta, Sadhana, Sadachar. You can think about it as a triple S. This is the essence of spiritual life. Anybody wants to progress on Krishna consciousness, they need to know Siddhanta. Siddhanta means the philosophy based on the scriptures from our Guru. We learn what is Siddhanta, how to practice Krishna Bhakti. The second is sadhana. Sadhana and sadhya. Sadhya means the end goal to achieve love of Godhead. We need to know Siddhanta. Then we use sadhana. Sadhana could be two things. Sadhana means the vehicle medium on which you want to achieve. Another one is the sadhana, which you practice, chanting 16 rounds, following four regulative principle, attending Mangalarti. The practice of devotional service itself, sadhana. And sadhan means other vehicles or medium on which you achieve Krishna consciousness. For example, if a person wants to come to the temple and he is driving the car, he needs a GPS. So that's Siddhanta. How do I go? What is the map required? The blueprint of Krishna conscious life is Siddhanta. What is sadhana? The means on which you want to go to the temple. It could be the car. But the car is there, the map is there. That's not alone sufficient. You need to have a driver or you need to drive yourself. You need to practice this Siddhanta of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it becomes very dry. It's more of a theoretical knowledge, but you don't have any practice. So if you don't have any practice, the practical devotion service, the sadhana, then the Siddhanta you will not be able to understand. And it's of speculative knowledge. Most of the time you will speculate, oh, this Bhagavatam says like this, it may be like this. But when you do actually do the deity worship, dressing nicely today was very beautiful darshan of the lordships, very beautifully done. So somebody's with love cooking. So like that, there's somebody's lovingly singing for Srila Prabhupada and the deities. So when you do practical devotion service, the ecstasy, the love for it, you will feel. Without this sadhana, then it is incomplete. The third aspect is sadachar. Some people might chant 16 rounds. Some people might know the philosophy very well, but you see the sadachar etiquette, they may not follow it. And many people will not come to our temple if there is no sadachar. You might be very high in philosophy, doesn't matter. You might be having sadhana, but there is no sadachar. The entire thing is zero. So the Siddhanta, Sadachar is very, very important part of aspect of the aspect of every Krishna consciousness. Somebody might say, Prabhu, it's my nature that I get short-tempered. I'm not able to, even though I'm a devotee practicing for many years, I am short-tempered. I'm not able to control myself. Or somebody might say, Prabhu, I've seen this, he's a non-devotee Prabhu, but he was extremely etiquette, you would very respectfully, politely, you might argue with him, but he's externally exhibiting extraordinary sadachar. We were thinking, oh, devotee means they should have sadachar. They would, by practicing devotional service, they might have a very good sadachar. But outside, we might see there are some non-devotees who might extremely show sadachar. At the same time, some devotee might be very senior, might be, very short-tempered after many, many years. So all these things will confuse some devotees. Sometimes these questions are asked. So how do we deal with those? Will this? So there is something called your nature. Nature means somebody is like Vriti. Vriti is like you might be a Brahmana by nature, or Kshatriya by nature, or whatever category you might be. So there are generally, you need to construct this big temple. You need to be a little passionate. So the management or the temple president, generally, little bit of qualities of Kshatriya they should have. They might be court case. They should be, standing, protecting the Vaishnava community, take a bold stand. They need to do it. If it is a pure Brahmana, you put it, then you will say, everything is Krishna Arpanamastu. So, you may not take it. You need somebody who is in the, in the that caliber, Kshatriya caliber to manage this temple. So similarly, every Vaishnava will have their own nature, but the short-tempered, which is the samskara, it is there in when you took birth because of the modes of material nature, whatever, you got these qualities, that one should overcome. Getting short-tempered, being illusion, getting envy, all those things one try to control as you progress. When you do the sadhana, one try to manage the other part, but you can't manage the one part, which is your intrinsic quality of being Kshatriya or Vaishnava, I mean, Brahmana, or it could be, whatever it is. So that you can't change it. But what you can change is how you behave. Even though you are a Kshatriya, how you've been so compassionate, how politely deal with the juniors. That's very important. So Prabhupada here and talks about wonderfully about the Siddhanta, Sadhana, and Sadachar. So Sadachar is very, very important. Without the Sadachar, it's of no use. So we will see from lessons from teachings of Mahaprabhu how how we can learn about it, all these aspects. So in summary, Siddhanta is like a blueprint, the map which you want to come to the temple, and sadhana is by means which you come, either car, and also you're practicing. You have to drive yourself, come to the temple. The end goal is sadhya, which is coming and having darshan of the Lord. And sadachara is once you come in the temple or on the way to the temple, how you behave with either it could be a non-devotees, it could be a opposite sex, or it could be another yatra in the temple, or it could be within the community junior. How do I behave with the peers, my equals? How do I behave with my superiors? How do I behave? There are so many aspects of sadachar, but we will not be covering all this aspect, but we will restrict to some of the aspects of sadachar because it's a huge topic. So how can one do the sadachar? Now we see the why it is important. Now we will see how this sadachar can be done. So this is a famous verse from Nectar of Instruction. Please repeat after me. Tadadi pragranati guhya makyadi, sorry, Tadadi pragranat pratigrhanati गुह्य माक्यादि पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयिते चैव सद्विधिं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasada, and offering prasada are the 6 symptoms of love shared. So this is how one should practice the sadachara aspect of it. You can offer gifts. So Sunday feast sponsoring happens. The Lord of Devotee lovingly sponsor. Many things happens, but most importantly here is sharing one mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially. This is what more interestingly we're going to see today is Mahaprabhu's exhibiting this. Of course, there are a lot of devotees gave a lot of gifts, and in turn Mahaprabhu exchanged. But we are going to focus specifically on revealing one's mind confidentially, because this is the key aspect of sadachar. When this is not happening, then there will be very, very little or no progress in Krishna conscious life. So this is the aspect of one more shloka, how one should perform. So this is again a beautiful shloka in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Gunadikan modam lipsayet anu. Okay, Gunadikan modam lipsayet anukrosham gunatatma maitrim samana tanviche na tapter abhibhuyate. Every man should act like this. When he meets a person who is qualified than more him, that is his superior, he should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified, that junior than himself, he should be compassionate towards him. When he meets someone who is equal, he should make friendship with him. In this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of material world. So one time Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter um, I don't remember, I think it's Karandara, 1970 to Bombay. He was a very good administrator, he was a very good manager. So they were asking, what is the definition of management? What is the definition of why it's required? Because we want to systematically propagate this holy name of the Lord. You need to have people who are interested in deity worship. Somebody is do outreach program. Somebody wants to do big distribution. Somebody want to do deity worship. There's so many aspects. You need to coordinate everything. So management is required. And Prabhupada wrote a definition of management, and it's very, very striking and very important. So he says the leader is one who shall be very careful, please listen, not to kill the spirit of the enthusiastic service, which is voluntary, done by the individual, and at this spontaneous. Three things Prabhupada is telling. One should not kill the spirit of enthusiasm. There are a lot of devotees come with very enthusiasm to serve. If a leader is one is who is not hurting their enthusiasm, because it's voluntarily, we don't pay money to somebody to do seva, so they are become voluntarily. Number one. Number two, they are individual, they want to come and do it. It's not that a lot of organization come and do it, it's individual who wants to do it, and it is spontaneous. What they want to do is it's spontaneous. So if a leader is one who is able to manage this the killing not the spirit, then it is accepted. One time one devotee, she is not from the, ISKCON, but some other Sampradaya worshipper of Shakta or something. She saw all the devotees were nicely doing garland. She also very happy and she started, very voluntarily, I want to do garland, and started doing garland. There is the supervisor or the lead devotee who comes and sees the new Mataji who is doing the garland. And he asks, oh, Mataji, where are you from? Who are you? Then he says, I just also practice worshipping Shakti and Devi and all. So are you following four regulative principle? So she may or may not follow. So immediately the leader takes the garland and smashes, saying, get out, you can't do this seva. So this could have been managed little differently, right? Because they may follow or may not follow. You might have a standards, but the way you express them, it's very important. So the leader, once he kills the spirit of the individual soul, then there is no sadachar. So, or it could be, so it's a nice incident when we introduced this coupon system for prasad, favorite topic. And most of the time, the people get hurt because of the prasadam. There are a lot of Vaishnava Prada or lot of, what is happened, etiquette. A lot of etiquette, it hurts a lot of people, especially prasadam. It's because it's very favorable. So I was on that next day I came, and then the coupon system was there introduced, but I've been asked to do Prabhupada Arti. So I don't want to have prasadam, then come and do Arti because I want to be in empty stomach. So then it was almost 7:45, 8 o'clock by the time Arti completes and you wind up, you go. And the devotee say, Prabhu, there is no prasadam because it is 7:15 to 7:30, whatever it is, you can't have prasadam. So there could be two scenarios. One, probably devotee said, Prabhu, no prasadam, you get out. Even Jagannath comes, you will not give prasadam. Timing is timing, right? You doesn't matter your senior or junior, doesn't matter. That's one kind of behavior. Another one is, Prabhu, we have been asked to do this seva. I'm doing on behalf of them, and you better make arrangement next time. Or other aspect, the behavior of the person who is going there, I would have shown tantrum saying that, how can you say like this? I'm very senior here. I know everything. I will do myself. That's also not good, because you should have made an arrangement. When you know that you are going to be delayed, you would have told somebody to save the prasadam, or you would have gone to the Mahaprasadam counter, had pasta. So either way, like, it's the both ways they should behave properly. It doesn't matter whether we have a system of Siddhanta of having coupon or not, that's different story. But how do I behave, irrespective of whether I coupon or not, how the person who is serving or the person who is going to take it, how they behave. This is all about sadachar, right? If this is goes anything wrong, anybody's hurt, then what happens? This devotee will stop coming to the temple, or other devotee get offended. I've been given the service, but I'm not allowed to do. So it hurts both the way, right? So how do I treat with the equal? How do I treat with the superior? How do I treat with the person who is peers, junior, and senior? Senior does not mean he's advanced devotee. Sometimes the first generation devotees, they'll be very senior. They would have come to Krishna conscious for many years ago. But if you see the leadership management, they might be the second generation devotees who are young, who are educated, or they have been have some skill set based on Krishna's mercy. So it's dealing with the senior, the first level, first generation devotee is very difficult. So one should respect them also by age, by number of years they're in Krishna conscious. They may not be in the management position, but they have been spending their lifetime in Krishna conscious for so many years. We also need to we also need to respect them based on number of years they are in Krishna conscious. May not be advanced. Seniority means does not means advanced. There might be junior devotee, but he may be advanced in spiritual life. But is a senior devotee, may not be advanced, but he's been spending long enough in Krishna conscious by age, by seniority. One should respect and give proper respect. Similarly, other Vaishnavas also, one with the second generation who is in the management, may not be, they need to manage very diligently with the senior Vaishnavas. So these are some of the very practical examples why we need to know this dealing. So we are really coming to the topic now. So we will see examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. As I mentioned, until Lila, there are so many dealings. You can deal with a superior, you can deal with a junior, deal with the equals. How to manage with opposite sex? How do I deal with them, especially children, Gurukula, opposite sex, all those things? With other yatra, other temple, sometimes other temple will come to your area and collect money, or they distribute books here. So how do I handle those? That's also Sadachar. How do I deal with influential people? Could be there are some influential people like Prabhupada one time. So these devotees were successful in London, managing the George Harrison. It will deal with him very carefully, because there could be a lot of things done. Even though they are very influential people in the maybe politician, or they become pretty industrialist, somebody want to give money, somebody can do some activity greatly. So we need to deal with them appropriately. Otherwise, it's lost to us. So how do I deal with influential people? How do I deal with other faith? There could be Christianity or any other community. How do I deal with if other faith person comes? And especially the key important thing is dealing with our own relatives, family members, father, mother, wife, and especially if they are non-devotees. Hare Krishna. It's very difficult, very practical. One time Srila Prabhupada asked one devotee, I think not Srila Prabhupada, it was Jayadvaita Maharaj. One devotee said, Maharaj, how do I preach to my family, especially my father and mother? He said, uh, except you, anybody else can preach. The best thing, if you would have preached to your family members, especially your father, mother, 200% they would have not come to Krishna consciousness. It's very rare. It will aggravate more. They will not, because they've been seeing you childhood as a small boy, and now you go, Ma, tu maa nahi hai, maya hai. Or you will say, hey, Ma, if you eat this, if you not chant your rounds, you'll become a dog. Maybe use such a philosophy, and go and tell. One time he was telling like this, and father said, you will become already a dog. You don't know how to behave properly. So this sadachar is very important. You can't preach to your family members. Better others preach. So there are a lot of dealings in sadachar. Most of the time, we know philosophy. I know Siddhanta. I'm practicing it, but the end goal when you start preaching to your family, what happened? Because of the sadachar, you didn't get the sadhya, the end goal. They did not get Krishna conscious. The family members want to become more of you to become materialistically successful, but you want the family members to become spiritually successful. Both are two different ends, and you're trying to manage opposite things. What would happen? It will break. So there are a lot of things to be talked about, but today we are going to very, very restrictly see some topics. So dealing with followers, Rupa and Sanatana, we can see beautiful story, and somebody's critics, like somebody's like Ramachandra Puri, always find fault. His entire life is dedicated only for finding fault. And there are some devotees, when they come, we be jubilant, we'll be happy. But when some devotees leave, then we'll be jubilant because they always find a fault, and we say, oh, when this guy will go, and when he goes, then we'll be jubilant. So Ramachandra Puri is one kind of character. All these devotees were very happy when he left because he was always finding fault. Now Mahaprabhu show the Sadachar. He's very senior, number one. And the problem is not with him. It is problem with him. The senior is telling the problem. He's creating the problem, and the issue is really with him. He said, cut on my food. I will not take sweets. So Mahaprabhu's behavior with Ramachandra Puri is amazing. Then today's topic, we're going to see Vallabha Bhatta. Vallabha Bhatta kind of a sort of, you say, contemporary. When Mahaprabhu was there, the Pushtimar also was growing. So Vallabhacharya also admired. And finally, it takes initiation from Gadadhar Pandit. So we will see today's seventh chapter, Lila. Some of the shlokas we will read and see the pastimes of how Vallabha Bhatta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed. But there are so many things like now we will not be able to cover all those topics. But today I've been focusing, I've just gave an overview of Sadachar. It could be, dealing with many other, you know, peers, family, society, all those things you can learn from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this today's the seventh chapter, the meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabha Bhatta. I divided into 7 portions. We'll try to see as much as possible. Um, I don't know, you're able to see my screen. So the Zoom is okay? Okay. Meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabha Bhatta. This is a wonderful. So what I will do is, I will read some of them. I would pass wherever it needs explanation. Otherwise, I would read out so that understand what's going on here in the pure nectar from the Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami. Chaitanya Charamboje Makaranda Liyo Bhaje Yesham Prasada Matrena Pamaropi Amaro Bhavet. Let me offer my obeisances unto the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply by the causeless mercy of the devotees engaged in licking honey from his lotus feet, even the fallen become souls eternally liberated. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Not shared. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, bro. This is much better. Thank you. So the next year, all the devotees of Bengal went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As previously, the Lord met each and every one of them. So this is an important shloka. Ye mata vilasha prabhura bhakta gana lana hene kale vallabha bhatta milashiya. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes with the devotees. Then the learned scholar of named Vallabha Bhatta went to Jagannath Puri to meet the Lord. So Vallabha Bhatta has already met Mahaprabhu, already met in Varanasi. This is the second time he is meeting. Who is this Vallava Bhatta? He's the one who started this Pushti Marga. Uh, he's also the bona fide Sampradaya. Prabhupada tells that he's one of the great Acharya who is more bona fide. This out of this four Sampradaya, this Vallabha Sampradaya is bona fide. So he had a lot of respect for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the first meet because Mahaprabhu was exhibiting his uh, all his ecstasy because he was taking on the boat in the Yamuna. And then he saw Yamuna. As soon as he saw Mahaprabhu was felt ecstasy, he was jumping from the boat. All those things Vallabha Bhatta experienced already. So he had a great reverence for him, and he knew who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he came and again met. आशिया वंदिया बटा प्रभु रचरणे प्रभु भागवत बुद्धिया कैला लिंगने. When Vallabha Bhatta arrived, he offered his obeisances at the lotus feet of the Lord, accepting him as the great devotee of the Lord, embraced him. With a great respect, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seated Vallabha Bhatta near him. Then Vallabha Bhatta very humbly began to speak. Bahudina Manorata Toma Deki Bare Jagannatha Purana Kaila Dekilum Tumare. For a long time he said, I have decided to see you, my Lord. Now the Lord Jagannath has fulfilled this desire. Therefore, I am seeing you. One who receives your audience, fortunate indeed, for you as a supreme personality of Godhead Himself. Since one who remembers you is purified, why should it be astonishing that one becomes purified by seeing you? One can immediately purify his entire house simply by remembering exalted personalities, to say nothing of directly seeing them, touching their lotus feet, washing their feet, and offering them places. So it's like this is glorifying Mahaprabhu. And also in the age of Kali, you have come to spread this holy name. So this is a wonderful verse. Tata pravartila tumi yete paramana Krishna Sakti Dara tumi yete nahi ana. You have spread this Sankirtana movement of Krishna conscious. Therefore, it is evident that you have been empowered by Lord Krishna. So like that, he was glorifying. So I just skip few of the verses where the Mahaprabhu start talking because these are glorification by Vallabha Bhatta. So this is a wonderful shloka from 16 onwards. Mahaprabhu replies, Mahaprabhu kahe suna bhatta mahamati mayavada sannyasi ami na jane Krishna bhakti. He says that Vallabha Bhatta, I'm not a learned scholar. So now the problem is you need to understand a little bit of background. Vallabhacharya thinks he is exalted Vaishnava. He is written commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. His more intention the second time meeting Mahaprabhu is that he wants to tell his own interpretation of the Bhagavata written commentary. That's the purpose he came and he wants to meeting Mahaprabhu. So now Mahaprabhu shows how to, he is not angry and chastising. Mahaprabhu is always taking the mood of humble, like how Prakashananda Saraswati, other devotees, how he dealt. Similarly, he also dealing with Vallabha Bhatta because he's a contemporary. He's not within the Sampradaya, in sense other Sampradaya. But he's a Vaishnavacharya. He follows Bhagavata Dharma and everything. So he's telling, I'm a fool. I've taken initiation from Mayavada Sannyasi. Therefore, I don't know about Bhakti. But you see, this Advaita Gosai, Advaitacharya Gosani, Shakta Ishvara, Sakshat Ishvara, Tandra Sange Amara Mana Haila Nirmala. He's a pure devotee. Uh, and see, Advaitacharya is a great devotee. Then he says that he's unparalleled his understanding of all revealed scriptures and the devotional service of the Lord Krishna. Therefore, he is called Advaitacharya. Now he started introducing to Vallabha Bhatta all his associates because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't want directly deal him, but he says, see this Vaishnava Sadachar, how these Vaishnavas are there. You first learn Sadachar, indirectly is telling him, not directly telling him. Then you can talk about your openly, your about contribution and the Srimad Bhagavatam because Mahaprabhu knows he has a lot of pride and this commentary, whatever he said, is not that correct. So he's not declining him direct, straight face on the face. Prabhu, you're not qualified to do the seva. No, he's just telling, listen, see this Advaita Acharya is a great personality. And uh, see, he turns meat eaters, the milagers also into devotional service. Now coming to the Nityananda. Now he's introducing Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Avaduda Sakshat Ishvara Bhavo Mode Matta Krishna Premara Sagara. Mahaprabhu is the ecstasy, ocean of ecstasy. You should take shelter of him. Then he talks about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So this is where I would stop. Then I would have a discussion. See, this is a very, very important topic, and it might take another 15 minutes in this shloka. Saddarshana Veta Bhattacharya Sarvabhauma Saddarshane Jagat Guru Bhagavata. He's telling Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knows all the six philosophical theses. Therefore, he's a spiritual master of entire world. Now, this shloka, uh, this shloka is really shocking. Mahaprabhu's. Tenha dekahila more bhakti yoga para tandra prasade janilum Krishna bhakti yoga sara. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has shown me the limit of devotion service. Only by his mercy I have understood that devotion service to Krishna is the essence of all mystic yoga. Probably we'll stop here only because today time is not there. So the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you read this carefully. Either Mahaprabhu is lying or he's showing his humility. What he is telling, Bhattacharya, he showed the limit of devotion service. From him, I understood the devotion service. First, who spoke to whom? When Mahaprabhu came to Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi sannyasi. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wants to teach Vedas and other stuffs to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was listening, and later Mahaprabhu converts Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then he gives appropriate instruction. Now, who teaches bhakti to whom? Mahaprabhu teaches to. But what is Mahaprabhu is telling here? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya taught everything. Essence of Krishna consciousness. Is it not contradictory? Is he not lying? What do you think? The Mahaprabhu is lying? Our Prabhu says, because of humility, Prabhu, you are the great speaker, Prabhu. Your class is life transferring, Prabhu. And I'll say, oh, what? My life is not transferred. How come your life is transferred? Sometimes devotees say, Prabhu, you are the pure Vaishnava in ISKCON. Like that, here it's not Mahaprabhu is telling, oh, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya out of humility is a great personality. No, this is true, one sense. Like uh, whenever somebody gives a class, it may not be inspiring for you, but other person, it might be inspiring. Such a hardcore Mayavadi, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, this Krishna conscious, even though Mahaprabhu spoke, this Krishna conscious has transformed him. So when you see the result, you will be overwhelmed. Oh, Krishna Bhakti is so powerful, Krishna consciousness is so powerful that he can change Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then your understanding of the Bhakti increases. It's not he's just telling a lie, or he's not just overly simplifying it, saying, because of humility, I can overboard and tell you are the great devotee. No. Here, what it shows is that Mahaprabhu is saying, I realize this because when this such a person kind of you person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya kind of person, very scholarly. He knows entire Vedanta. But he's a Mayavadi, but he could able to change and become such a devotee. It's inspiring. That's what it means here. So it is out of humility. Mahaprabhu talks, he's not lying. So some of this, if we go detail into this translation, sometimes it's bewildering. But this is the quality of Mahaprabhu and the way he is showing. See, now there are some introduction happens, right? There's sometime we go outreach program or in the Zoom class, we would try to introduce the speaker. So one time it so happened that there's a college program. The two brahmacharis went and the speaker was sitting. So the other person has to introduce. It's become so interesting that the other person started like a Vyas Puja offering only. They started glorifying this person. So the college students are looking each other. This is our college. What is these two guys are glorifying each other? The person who is already in the college who introduce the speaker, then it is appropriate because they are not able to connect to the person who is come new because they don't know him. If it is a person who is in the college, then he can introduce. What here Mahaprabhu is doing is introducing all the Vaishnavas, saying, look at Ramanandaraya, look at Sarup Damodar, look at Bhattacharya, look at Nityananda Prabhu, look at Advaitacharya. One thing you want to bring down his pride, saying that they are better devotees, better you learn from them. Second thing is my realization about the speaker, my realization about my associate. It's not just simply glorifying for the sake of glorifying, is really bring out the essence. When he said like this, definitely Bhattacharya would know, yes, I have been hardcore Mayavadi, but Mahaprabhu was turned on. I learned it from means Mahaprabhu got a lot of enthusiasm by somebody is doing the seva. You get a lot of enthusiasm. You understand, oh, it's so potent. Krishna consciousness is so potent, it can change. So that inspiration is what Mahaprabhu is talking. Now he's talking about Ramananda Raya. Ramananda Raya Krishna Rasera Nidana Tenha Janila Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Another glorification. Srila Ramananda Raya is the ultimate knower of the transcendental mellows of the Lord Krishna devotional service. He has instructed me that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though the conversation happened, Mahaprabhu took the position of asking the question. Ramananda started answering it. One sense, yes, Ramananda spoke, but Ramananda clearly tells, my Lord, you are the making me to speak. So for your benefit, I'm speaking. Here again, Mahaprabhu goes into the humble mood and is explaining like this, what is that Sadachar? So like that, the up to 48, 53. Let me jump 48, 53 because there are so many things to be said. Okay. So then he glorifies Haridas Thakur, other Vaishnavas assembled here, is going to glorify, all these acharyas, Acharya Ratana, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhar Pandit, Jagdananda, Damodara, Vakreshwar Pandit. So like that, there are so many devotees, Prabhupada, sorry, Mahaprabhu is including. So knowing that Vallabha Bhatta's heart was full of pride, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke these words, hinting at one can learn about devotional service. How one can learn devotional service? Vallabha Bhatta was greatly proud of his knowledge, and therefore he wanted to speak about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without understanding the Lord position. So the Lord hinted Vallabha Bhatta, devotional service actually one learned from the devotees mentioned like Advaita Acharya, Nityananda, Sarva Bhattacharya. So we also learn Sadachar because we see the kid most of the time, they don't learn by what you preach. They learn what you buy, what you behave. So most of the kids pick up, they would know you try to cook, the kids also will have small toys, then they try to cook. So the Vaishnava Sampradaya, Vaishnava dealings are learned. It's not just hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. You have very good Siddhanta. Sadachar anyway I have to do because I've been initiated. So it's not that. Sorry, the um, sadhana. But Sadachar is something which you have to learn from the acharyas. That way you can learn. Otherwise, it's not possible. So that's what uh, he interprets this. Vallabha was thinking now, I'm a greater Vaishnava. Having learned all this conclusion of Vaishnava philosophy, I can understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and explain it very well. So meanwhile, what is happening? Let us conclude this story. So Vallabhacharya started talking about Mahaprabhu. I want to explain. Mahaprabhu neglected. See, I am full. I don't know anything about it. So other Vaishnava, his disciple also started neglecting him. In sense, they don't listen. They don't give any attention to him. But he's keep on trying various devotees. One time, he was really worried. Why nobody is not listening to my interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam? Then he goes to Gadadhar Pandit. Now Gadadhar Pandit is in dilemma. He's a senior Vaishnava. No, I can't say no, I will not listen. At the same time, if I listen, what will happen? Other Vaishnavas, what they think? Mahaprabhu is rejecting him. But if I accept him, what the other Vaishnavas will think? Paramatma will know. Anyway, I'm trying to Mahaprabhu, if I listen also, Mahaprabhu will not take offense. But my fellow other equals will take offense because Mahaprabhu knows he is in a very dilemma situation. Gadadhar Pandit cannot knows to Vallabha Bhatta. So then he started interpreting holy name and he gives one example. See, Mahaprabhu, we are like, only Purusha is Krishna. We are all Prakriti. Now, generally in the olden days, wife will not take the husband's name. Now we are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Now we are all Prakriti, right? You are the Purusha. How can a wife say the name of the Lord? That's why we should not chant. Is it a good proposal? Mahaprabhu really got while he said, yeah, that may be true, but my husband told me to chant the name. First, me, I'm very chaste. I'm wife because I had to follow my husband's order. My husband told me to chant. So I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. So this is one interpretation because Gadadhar Prabhu was really praying, please manage this person. I'm not able to manage. And assembled Vaishnavas, everybody is watching all this, how Mahaprabhu is managing. Another time he said, I wrote better commentary than Sridhara Swami. Mahaprabhu was really internally angry, but he said it's like a unchaste woman who writes their own commentary, not following Sridhar Swami. It's like unchaste woman. So he was explaining him, Valavabhata, see, whatever you're doing is wrong. So then this chastisement, after some time, a little heavy on him, then Valavabhata realizes, oh my God, I made a mistake. I was so proud that I know everything. But look at this Vaishnava Sadachar, how Mahaprabhu dealt with, like how Mahaprabhu, Krishna dealt with Indra. Indra was so angry, so pride, but he still was trying to do disturbance. But Krishna never spoke a single word. He never did anything. He just lifted Govardhan. That's all right. He never spoke anything. Even Indra came, he was very cool. And Indra knew it, what he has made. Similarly, Vallabhachari was explaining, but Mahaprabhu was explaining a different angle. How it is unchaste woman, one who is not following the parampara. And he was explaining all this answers to him patiently. Then Vallabhata surrenders to him. So this how we can see the sadachar of a Vaishnava who is a contemporary, who is not within the his control, but who is outsider, but the great Vaishnava. How Mahaprabhu dealt with them. This is one example. And also there is another example, same Valavabhata, but we can see the dealing of dealing of Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami with Valavabhata. So this happened in Vrindavan. So after that, Mahaprabhu left. Vallabhachari was still there. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, they're all living in Vrindavan. Jiva Goswami, most of the time, very intellectual person, is extremely brilliant. And most of the time, Rupa Goswami engaged him doing his proofreading of his whatever books he writes. So Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami to write Aribhakti Vilas and other stuffs on the Vaishnava etiquette and things like that, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. So all these things will be proofwritten by this Jiva Goswami. But Jiva Goswami is what happens is he cannot tolerate Vaishnava aparat. So one time there is one Pandit came around Vrindavan telling that anybody needs to defeat me unless you have to write a sasan saying that you accept my superiority. So he goes around and he comes to Rupa and Sanatan. Rupa and Sanatan thought, okay, it's waste of time, explaining him, better not to argue with him. So they said, okay, we will write and give you. You are the supreme. We nothing to do with. We don't want to waste time because I have to write a lot of things. I have to excavate temple, and a lot of things to do. So this Jiva Goswami came to know. He was so furious. How can you defeat our gurus? I know they voluntarily accepted, but he doesn't want to accept the defeat of the Vaishnavas. He goes and argues with the particular Pandit. He defeats him left and right. Then this message comes to Rupa Goswami because Rupa Goswami was mentoring Jiva Goswami, and he was really angry. Do you think you are a really scholar that you go and chastise this other person? You want to show you are a scholar? You are not fit to be in Vrindavan. Anybody who have the humility, they can fit to be in Vrindavan. You get out of this place. Most of the time, he chastises them. He sends away. After some time, Jiva Goswami comes back. Now the story is really interesting with Vallabhata, Vallabhacharya. So Vallabhacharya, once he came because he met Rupa Goswami in the first meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he was in Puri. They had very good association. One time Vallabhacharya came and he met Rupa Goswami. He said, Rupa Goswami, what are you doing nowadays? He said, I'm writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I see this proof. Can you read this? And like that he gave. And he was reading this important shloka. You can repeat after me. Bhukti mukti spara yavat pichachi hirday vartare tavad bhakti sukastraya katam abhyutyo bhavet. So the long as the witches of bhukti and mukti linger in the heart, how can pure bhakti arise? This is what Rupa Goswami written in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But Vallabhacharya was a little not happy with this sentence. He said, I know devotees don't have any desire. There is Anyabhilashat Sunidam, Jnana Karma Dhyanavartam, Anukulena Krishna Nusilam, that's all fine. But calling Mukti is the energy of the Lord. Calling Mukti as the witch, black witch, it is little too much. You can't call energy of the Lord, even though we don't want Mukti, but you can't just call Mukti as the, Pichachi, it's still too much, Rupa Goswami. Then, yeah, Rupa Goswami said, yeah, I will consider it. Then this is what happened. So Jiva Goswami is watching all this. Again, he can't tolerate anybody criticize Rupa Goswami. So Vallabhacharya went to the take the bath. Then Jiva Goswami follows him. Then, my dear Vallabhacharya, you know everything, but still I will try to explain. Here, Rupa Goswami did not mean the mukti as the pichachi, but anybody has the desire for which mukti, that is called pisachi, not the actual, the Shakti itself, pichachi. You are wrongly understood like that. So he was impressed. Again, Vallabhacharya came. He told, you are a very good disciple. He is amazing. He explained me very well. I didn't understand your purport. Thank you very much. Again, Rupa Goswami got really angry because one thing is that people what will say, see, Rupa Goswami externally showing very compassionate to Bhattacharya, but through his disciple he is disfaming him. And or he is not teaching his disciple how to behave with others. Then he immediately chastised. Again, he said, Jiva Goswami, get out of this place. You are showing so much scholar. I don't want to be here. Again, he sends Jiva Goswami. That's the time Jiva Goswami goes to Mathura, stays in the crocodile hole, he writes all the six Sandarbhas and a lot of things. But he was feeling separation from Rupa Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami really knew. Now, the Vaishnava etiquette, the lessons what we learned from Sanatana Goswami, correcting Rupa Goswami. Now, Sanatana Goswami has to correct Rupa Goswami, ask him to take Jiva Goswami. Now, even though his brother, even though his guru, a Siksha Guru, whom Rupa Goswami considers high reverence. Now see the Sanatana Goswami behavior. You would have directly went and scolded Sanatana Rupa Goswami, saying that what kind of person? How it is Jiva Goswami is very Vaishnava. How can you chastise him? Moreover, he is not tolerating his guru's offenses. That's all. There's nothing wrong. Is Jiva Goswami is wrong? No, he has to protect his Vaishnava, his guru. He needs to be angry. Is it Rupa Goswami wrong? No, he's also right. Both are right. How? He's chastising because you want to teach them some lessons, what other people will think. So both are right, but we need to resolve the conflict. Neither, uh, you know, neither both of them should resolve the conflict. So how see the conflict resolution by Sanatana Goswami? Sanatana Goswami comes and asks Rupa Goswami, how are you? How are the things happening? Yeah. I'm just about finished the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But you are not following some instruction of Mahaprabhu. Said, really, brother, you tell me, I will follow what it is. Then he asked, tell me what are the principles, what are the teachings of Mahaprabhu? Generally, Mahaprabhu's teaching can be condensed into three: Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jivadaya. You can repeat after me: Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jivadaya. By chanting, you get the taste to serve the Vaishnavas. When you do Vaishnava Sevas, then you will be Jivadaya, means compassionate to the fallen conditioned soul, to preach and do thanks. So he said, Namaruchi, you are following. Vaishnava Seva, he generally talks with the Vrjavasis, take care of their personal, even though he's a sannyasi, mendicant, but he still talks about mundane things. How is your family? What's happening? He was so compassionate to the Vaishnavas also. He was doing a lot of seva. But you're not following Jiva Doya. He's little bit confused, but Rupa Goswami got it. Here, Jiva means Jiva Goswami also. Jiva means Jiva, soul. Another meaning of is Jiva Goswami. Jiva Doya. He is also Jiva. Why you are not showing Doya to the Jiva Goswami? He understood. He didn't say anything and immediately called Sanatana Goswami just gave a hint saying you're not doing Jiva Doya. That's all. He didn't say anything, but he understood. And he brought back Jiva Goswami and he made him again to do the proofreading and things like that. See the sensitivity in which Mahaprabhu dealt with, sensitivity in which his disciple dealt with his disciple. How much we should be sensitive in dealing with the Vaishnavas who come to our temple, because it takes a lot of buckets of blood to make one devotee, and to sustain him in the system, it takes a lot of effort. And after roaming around multiple lives of the Brahmade, Brahmite, Kon, Bhakyavan Jiva, after going through many species of life, finally they come to Radha Vinod shelter. But we offend them, by not following proper sadachar. There is entire thing is gone. The entire Siddhanta is gone. Your sadhana is gone. There is no fruit because you don't have sadachar. With this, I would stop here. It's already time. Sally, please forgive me if I'm not able to convey what I want to say. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So it's amazing. You can all read Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially Antya Lila, every chapter dedicated, and it is really mystery of Mahaprabhu handling with various Vaishnavas. Uh, it's only by reading this Antya Lila, because Mahaprabhu spent all his 18 years, that entire Lila is described. He didn't go out preaching. Internally, he was dealing with Sadachar, and it's wonderful nectar. Antya Lila is the nectar of dealing with Namachar Haridas Thakur, Gopinath Patnaik. So there are a lot of beautiful, beautiful conversations. Meeting Rupa Goswami, it starts with meeting Rupa Goswami. All are amazing dealings. So one should read and get benefit. Mahaprabhu ki. Are there any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji, for in the morning when we met, you said it's a very complicated topic, but then you actually simplified it and put in a very nice summary. Oh, so, Prabhuji, the question was, especially the Sadachar, we know we have to follow the etiquettes, but what to do when we commit that aparad? What is the next step that we have to do, Prabhuji?
What aparad? Aparad has many. Seva aparad, Vaishnava aparad, Nama aparad.
The aparad that I was talking about, using harsh words. If the harsh words are
Vaishnava
used,
aparad.
Vaishnava.
Yeah, so aparad can be many. That's why Hari Bhakti will ask Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and asked to write, because Mahaprabhu instructed him. There are solution for every aparad, but Nama aparad, sorry, for the Nama aparad, Nama is the solution. You chant more rounds, seek forgiveness. You did some DT aparad, again you can chant more round. Seva aparad, you can mitigate by chanting. But Vaishnava aparad, you can do by more chanting. Vaishnava aparad, only go and fall at the feet of the Vaishnava. There is no other option. There is no other option Mahaprabhu gave. So Vaishnava aparad, you spoke harsh. One is repentance. Oh, I spoke this. Second thing, not repeating again. Third thing, falling at the Vaishnava's feet. All the three things needs to be done. Even one is missing, you might repent, you might may not do it, but still the offenses to the Vaishnava remains as a Vaishnava. You will not be able to progress unless he forgives. So all the three needs, it's a must. So there is no other option. Mahaprabhu did not give any other option.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. There is one other option we were thinking was, sometimes it happens that we might commit, but we ourselves do not know that I've committed an aparad or that I've do something.
Yeah. It's a aparadha means you're not knowingly you're doing it at the spot of moment. It's sparked. You're doing it. You're not premeditated. Tomorrow I'll go and tell Sri Balaji Prabhu this. I'll speak. You don't do it, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even though accidentally false happens. So okay, he talks about sins, not exactly offenses. Offense is something, sin and aparadha are different. So when you do aparadha, that's why the emphasis and the acharya, the entire conversations another Goswami Mahaprabhu gives, please write about Sadachar. Entire Antilila is Sadachar. Out of 3 volumes, 1 volume is dedicated only for Sadachar. So by talking to the devotees, learning, discussing, having a lot of seminars on Vaishnava etiquette, that's how one can cure the vasanas. Vasanas you can't change, it's difficult to change. But vritti, I told you, you might be Kshatriya or Brahmana, that you cannot change. But definitely short-tempered, speaking ill, blaspheming the devotee, that you should control. That's Sadachara is important. That's where we can work out, and definitely we need to work on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for a nice class. One question was, you mentioned that seniority should not doesn't necessarily mean advanced, but seniority should be respected. Can you elaborate more?
Sometimes, the advancement does not go by number of years in Krishna consciousness. One might be in Krishna conscious for 10, 15 years, but does not mean advanced. Advanced means how we behaving in Sadachar wise, how we could able to realize. So you might be senior, you might be practicing it, but it does not mean that a person who is in second generation is a manager post can ignore the senior Vaishnava over the first generation at least you should respect number of years in Krishna conscious, because Krishna is allowed that soul to practice. He may not be up to the level, but he's allowed him to practice. That's itself a great boon. So anybody is without the previous Shukriti, he cannot become devotee. So that at least respect his age, respect his number of years or initiation he took, which year he took. So at least give a respect to it. And at the same time, he may not be advanced. He may be there. Somebody takes 1 year to progress. Somebody takes one lifetime. Somebody take different years, depends on the personality. So, for example, sannyasi may be a small young age. Obviously, Grihastha needs to pay obeisances, respect to the sannyasi, irrespective of what is his age. You can't say, Prabhu, before you coming into Krishna conscious, I am a devotee. You just took now sannyas, so I can't pay obeisances. It doesn't work like that. That's what I meant. Advancement, it may not be by age, but at the same time, can I disrespect because you're not advanced? It's internal. Advancement is internal. How do you judge? Prabhu, 200 meters, yes. You can't judge. So that way you have to respect irrespective of that age and the number of seniority. And that way you are safe.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for trying to give us a dimension of Vaishnava Aparadh. Right now, a very, very important question arises. We have 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. Do Vaishnavas really take Aparadh? That's one. Based on, we have a nice pastime of Sanatana Goswami seeing a lame person. Actually, Sanatana Goswami was reminiscing on the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. But this person who was lame thought that Sanatana Goswami is laughing at him, and Sanatana Goswami stops seeing the pastimes of the Lord. How do we understand this? No, one second. This is one question. And the second question is, here you mentioned Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, and Jivadaya. What culminates into what? You did give a sequence. Could you reiterate whether it's the same sequence?
Yeah, this is a debatable topic. Vaishnava through which you get Namaruchi, but it's also Namaruchi through which you get Vaishnava Seva. So it's Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jivadaya. Other way around, Vaishnava Seva, Namaruchi also possible, but the most explanation what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives is Namaruchi and Vaishnava Seva. And the other question is, it's really not Sanatana Goswami did not do Vaishnava Aparadh. Somebody, I heard in our class only, really it was the vision is stopped not because of Vaishnava Aparadh. Because it's unknowingly, he didn't purposefully did anything, The Vaishnava came, it's happened to happen that scenario, but it's not because of that Vaishnava Aparadh. But externally to teach a lesson, it was there, but he never did Vaishnava Aparadh. That cannot be considered as a Vaishnava Aparadh. I am forgetting, there is some devotees talked about it. It's not really Vaishnava Aparadha. What is that? No. That is there. But actually, he did not do Vaishnava Aparadha. The vision has stopped. That's not because of Vaishnava Aparadha. I'm telling Rupa Goswami did not, his vision is stopped. There's in the class only some Acharya told. I'm not able to recollect, but he did not really do Vaishnava Aparadha. One way you can say it's Vaishnava Aparadha, but it's really did not do Vaishnava Aparadha. That can't be considered as a Vaishnava Aparadha. Bhakti Prachar Maharaj said it's not really Vaishnava Aparadha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. I have a question for you. This one, supposing somebody disturbs a devotional service, that time you get angry, So, and if you might.
That's why we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, oh Mahaprabhu, right? Vallabhacharya is coming and
deal with this situation because somebody is troubling us while doing devotional service.
Simple.
We cannot progress in devotional service.
Siddhanta, you need to know the philosophy began. At least how do I need to behave when this scenario comes? How Mahaprabhu behaved, how the other senior Vaishnava. You may not be up to the level. At least knowing Siddhanta is important. Then you start practicing sadhana. Then you will come to the sadachar. So it is a practice and associating with the Vaishnavas who is not getting angry. And you develop that quality by seeing, by practicing, by taking prasad. So all those things help. It's not one solution. I can say you follow this, tomorrow you become a pure Vaishnava. Even a Vaishnava who is I told you, non-Vaishnava, he is so humongous humility. Is brought up like that. They may be naturally, his father being taught him to behave like that. They might have 200% better than Sadachar than the devotees. Does not mean he is greater. One who is taken Krishna conscious, but is still struggling. He is short-tempered, but he'll takes time, 1 year, 10 years, does not matter. But at least have you making the attempt? Krishna sees the effort not the result. How much effort you endeavor to control your anger. You might be still getting anger now also, but how much compared to first year I joined ISKCON, 10th year, how much effort I'm making it consciously. Krishna sees the effort and gives the mark, not the how you what you wrote in the exam paper. So you were telling something, Mataji. Purnanandini Mataji. Bro, one
This-
second, and she was talking, then I'll come. Ah, correct. Ah, mention. What was he mentioned? Please. Can
That
you...
Aparad Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice topic and class. He was mentioning that because of the Lila, some Lila,
Ah,
and then he Radharani, something she is lost, and that Leela he laughs not at the person. who's-
in the Leela, I was thinking how it is can happen or something. So that way the vision stopped, not because of Vaishnava Aparad. He did not do any Vaishnava Aparad. But even though to externally show teachers, he gave the prasadam to other devotees. Then he came to know and asked forgiveness. Unknowingly you commit also, you need to do it. But actually that was not Vaishnava Aparad. The vision was stopped not because of he did a Vaishnava Aparad, but in the past time he was thinking something. So the vision got stopped. That's what something he was telling in that effect. Thank you. Ah, yeah, that was the Leela. But why that vision stopped? That was his question. Because Vaishnava Prada is telling, but that's on the day the Prabhu said, it's not because of Vaishnava Prada. He was thinking about something in the past time. So he was questioning that. That's why it stopped. It's not really, there's nothing to do with Vaishnava Prada. Yes,
Well, probably one other aspect. Well, Mataji was asking a question. If somebody is an impediment in our devotional service, how do we handle that? It's a very, very easy way. There are quite a few examples in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. If somebody is trying to comment on your devotional service, first and foremost, a person must have the humility to accept there is a certain number of truth in what you're saying. Can we sit and deliberate your accusations? First and foremost, you're satisfying the ego of that person first. Secondly, when you ask a person to explain threadbare what is the cause of that animosity, many, I think, can be ironed out by talking to each other instead of talking about each other. I think that's a nice
yeah,
way of
wonderful. Talking about instead of talking
about each other, talk to each
talking
other
about others. That is the wrong thing.
and iron out the
Very good.
differences.
Yeah. And Ramachandra Puri is what you need to go on study the past times, dealing with critics. He was always finding fault and is also senior. So how to dealt with Mahaprabhu, this Ramachandra Puri, Antilila, this chapter is there. You can read how to manage the critics. So that's another lesson learned from every pastime. We'll stop here. Thank you. Grandaraj Bhagavatam ki, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Mahaprabhu ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, let us all, so we all now understood how Chaitanya Charitamrita is so sweet and also sensitive also, and give us all the wonderful ways to deal with devotees also. So let us all thank His Grace Gaurachandra Gopinath Prabhu from the bottom of our heart and express our gratitude by loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.